Chapter 14. Faultlines. Ezra stood at the edge of the platform inside the Capitol Chapel, surrounded by stonework older than most of the colony's buildings above. The high vault of the ceremonial chamber, carved from the heart of the moon itself, towered above him. Massive supporting arches, cut from polished lunar rock, held banners from each of the 12 clans. Though the hall could seat over 100,000, only the ground floor had been filled today, each seat taken by a citizen from every district of the Lunar Syndicate. The ceremony was over, and the congregation was beginning to file out into the soft-lit corridors. A hum of conversation and greetings floated upward into the vast chamber air. Ezra, now formally robed as the shepherd of his clan's spiritual leadership, stood beside Jonah and Micah near the outer ring of the stage. The three had aged well. Each now carried the gravity of 40 years of stewardship, community building, and faith leadership. Their eyes scanned the crowd as they shook hands with well-wishers and old friends. "Thank you for honoring Ezra today," Jonah said to a passing family, offering warm handshakes to parents and their teenage children. "It means a lot that you made the trip out to the capital. It's not a short haul." "Especially not from Raoul," Micah added, clasping the hand of an older man with a weathered face. "But I'll tell you, it's worth seeing this place. Hard to believe this all used to be rock and dust." Ezra smiled as he watched a group of young children from a far district skip ahead of their parents, craning their necks at the high-vaulted ceiling. "We all helped dig the early districts," he said, a trace of nostalgia in his voice. "Do you remember those first months in the farming tunnels? We were all assigned to irrigation rotation. Everyone had to know how to grow something." "I remember," Micah laughed. "My clan insisted no one be allowed to lead until they could grow a tomato and fix a CO2 exchanger in the same week." Jonah nodded. "It made us versatile. Even the folks who came from different backgrounds or clans learned to appreciate the discipline. Lunar life didn't care if your family had been wealthy on Earth. You learned to maintain a pressure lock or you didn't make it." They walked together slowly as the crowd thinned, moving toward the arched exit tunnel that led back to the lodging halls above. "I'll say this," Micah added, glancing back at the cavernous space. "We've come a long way, but I worry a bit." Ezra raised a brow. "About what?" "Some of the newer generations," Micah said. "Not that they're lost, it's just different. I wonder sometimes if they carry the same fire we did." Jonah chuckled softly. "Maybe not the same fire, but maybe a new one." They fell into a quiet rhythm, the soft hum of footfalls echoing around them. "We're still here," Ezra said. "Still gathering, still praying, still working. That counts for something." Micah nodded. "And we've got each other. That counts for more." The lift ahead opened, and they stepped inside. The ride from the capital back to Raoul took just under 2 hours by rail. They sat in a private car, its interior lined with soft brown upholstery, warm golden lighting, and subtle murals etched into the lunar glass, images of farms, stars, and long communal tables. As the car whispered along the magnetics, the men leaned back and spoke in low tones. "Ezra," Jonah said, "I've heard rumors. They say Corin and Shadrach districts are lobbying hard over the mineral rights. Some of the elders didn't even know until someone in their own households mentioned it." "Then they'll bring it up when it matters," Ezra said, resting his hands on his knees. "Every village has elders. Every church has order. We speak where we're given voice, no further." Jonah nodded slowly, but his gaze lingered on the rail window, lost in thought. A gentle chime broke the quiet, their arcs activated without gesture. A citizen priority notification appeared in the upper corner of their vision. "Arc broadcast, Class 2, Governance Debate. Citizens may choose to tune in now, set a vote reminder, vote by proxy, ignore this issue. All responses are recorded. If 2/3 ignore the issue, a public inquiry will be opened." Ezra tapped to tune in. The cabin's rail screen dimmed, shifting to live footage. The notification dissolved, but the weight of it lingered. Micah glanced at the others. "That's not a small issue. Those only show up when the Unity clan is watching." "Let's see what's going on," Ezra said. He tapped his arc with a blink, and the room's rail screen darkened, shifting to live footage. The debate chamber appeared. 12 representatives seated in a glowing ring, and in the center, a shimmering mineral sample floated midair. The mineral hovered inside an electrostatic lattice, its edges glowing faintly with contained charge. The room fell quiet. The discovery and its consequences were about to change everything. The sublunar train hummed low as it tunneled silently beneath the moon's crust, speeding Ezra and his companions back toward Raoul. The arc broadcast filled the cabin wall in muted blue. 3 of the tree-named clans were standing now. The elders, robed in dark fabric laced with gold thread. "This material was found beneath our district lands," one declared. "We did not seek it, we did not claim it, we were blessed with it, and in the spirit of peace we offer to distribute it at a rate agreed upon by the clans." Another representative from the Security Alliance leaned forward. The emblem of the Moon Clan glowed at his chest. "And who determines the rate? Who audits the extractions? You've already begun research without informing the scientific ministry." An elder from the Griffin clan, seated opposite him, raised a hand. "Because until we understand what we're dealing with, wider disclosure is dangerous. This isn't iron or aluminum. If the Sino-Soviets, or even the Americans, learn how this mineral behaves in certain fields, we could be handing them the keys to a weapon we don't even understand yet." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. The Moon representative's jaw tightened. "So we hide it from our allies? Do you think Washington won't notice the shipments coming through Eden Lift? Secrets like this breed suspicion." "Better suspicion than sabotage," another elder interjected. "The moment word leaks, we'll have spies crawling through every tunnel from Marinega to Raoul. We should be posting security on every crate we move out of the mines." Micah sipped his tea and grunted. "Here we go." Ezra didn't speak. He leaned forward, eyes locked on the screen. Ezra's grandson, a wiry teen with bright eyes, tugged on his sleeve. "Grandpa, how much say do you really have in this?" Ezra exhaled through his nose, then turned. "I serve our village. I guide where I can. I pray with those in need. I help manage the church and keep us walking straight. But this is tribal. I don't get a vote. I give counsel, not commands." "So you're not, like, the leader?" "My son, no," Ezra said. "I'm one shepherd among many. My field ends at Raoul's edge." The feed continued. One of the Security Alliance reps raised his voice. "If you hoard this, it won't just be greedy. It'll be destabilizing. The Sino-Soviet Alliance has already broken ground on their African elevator. Chad, of all places." The word hung heavy. "They're building it on promises. Humanitarian infrastructure, clean water, jobs. But once they get their cables in the sky, it won't matter what flag they flew on the way up." Naomi whispered, "Did someone leak this? Sell the data?" Rachel didn't answer. Neither did Ezra. On screen, the mineral floated gently. A third-party lab had confirmed it would enhance elevator stability, allowing triple the weight and double the speed, all at a fraction of the energy cost. Habitats, cargo, even cities in orbit. With enough of it, a second Eden Lift could be built, and one was already under construction. "Vote on independence," one tribal rep muttered. Rachel turned pale. "They wouldn't dare." Jonah's eyes narrowed. "The Americans did it, and now the Syndicate controls the beam. What's to stop another from rising?" Silence settled in the cabin. Then, transition, a figure stood on screen. The emblem of the Unity clan pulsed gently. A circle of 12 golden arcs formed in a sunburst. The man was tall, spindly, and had a voice that sounded like a scroll being slowly unrolled. "Brothers, sisters, esteemed representatives, I rise, not in passion, but in principle." The speech carried on, smooth and practiced. But Ezra only half listened. He wasn't worried about implants or invisible tech wars. He was worried about this chamber, this mineral, how quickly the ground beneath their feet was shifting, and for the first time in years, the shepherd felt very small beneath the weight of the moon.